Hi, in this short video we're going to talk about a type of verbal reasoning question known as the hidden word. Let's have a look at an example. In each of the following sentences, a four-letter word is hidden between two or more consecutive words. Identify the hidden word. Right, here's a sentence. The sofa tends to slip back a little when you sit on it. We need to find a four-letter word that's hidden in this sentence. And by hidden, it means that the four letters that make up the word cross two or more words that are next to each other on the sentence. So here's the general approach. Sometimes, if you just read the sentence, it might be obvious where this four-letter word is hidden. And if that happens, great. But let's just talk about a couple of things that can never be correct. Okay, so we're looking for four letters that are all next to each other, but that cross at least two different words. So if I took the THE from the and let's say random N over there, that would make then, but those letters aren't all next to each other. Okay, so anything like that won't be the correct answer. Similarly, if you see a four-letter word that is within another word, so let's take tend, for example. Tend is a four-letter word, but it is within tens. It's not crossing any gaps between words. Okay, so that also could not be a correct answer in principle. So there are four possible options for how these four-letter words can be made up. And the trick is to start looking at the junctions between words. Okay, so I've marked the junction between the and sofa. The most common options are that you take three letters, the last three letters from the word before the junction, plus one letter after the junction, because that would make four letters in total. THES, thes. Thes isn't a word, as it happens. So the next option is to take two letters, the last two letters of the word before the junction, and then the two letters that are immediately after the junction. Here we'd have HESO, HESO. That's not a word either. And then the third option is to take the last letter of the word before the junction and then the three letters afterwards, ESOF or ESOF. That's not a word either. Okay, but we would try those three different combination types at each junction until we find a word that is a real four-letter word. Let's just try it with the next junction here. So OFA, which is 3 plus 1, off that, that's not a word. Let's try 2 and 2. Fate, fate. Yes, that is a real word. And just as an example, we'll just try the third possible combination at this junction, which would be the last letter of sofa and the first three of tens, which would give aten. Aten's not a word. So it seems like already we have found a genuine four-letter word. Now with these questions, there will only be one four-letter word that you would need to find. So if you find a four-letter word and you are very confident that that is a real word, then you can stop and you have got your right answer. But if you're not sure, then just make a note of the word you think may be real, but then systematically carry on and check every junction. And then you can go back and look at the words you found and decide which one is probably the genuine word. I have said here that there are four possible options at each junction, and I've only talked about three options, the 3 plus 1, or 2 plus 2, or 1 plus 3. But the fourth option is that the four consecutive letters may span three different words. For example, if we look at the words back a little, we take the CK, from little. So those are four consecutive letters, but they actually span three words, back a little. So in theory, you could get a question where the answer does span three words. In this case, it doesn't, because cal isn't a word. Sometimes in the question, it will clearly say that the hidden word is only between two words. So this question says the hidden word is between two or more consecutive words. But if it does only say 2 words, then you don't need to worry about looking at 4-letter combinations that span 3 different words. For this type of question, some people find it easier if they cover up bits of word with their finger. So, for example, if I wanted to look at the, let's go for a bit that hasn't already got lots of red on it. Let's go for this junction here, when you. So, when I say covering bits of words, say you wanted to look at the last 3 letters of the word before the junction and then +1 letter after the junction. With your finger, you would cover the w and the rest of you, so you can really clearly see the 4 letters that you want to read. It might make it easy to read Henya, and then you can decide whether or not that's a real word. And then you can just slide your finger across this way to cover the H, and slide your finger across that way to uncover the O, and then you can read the next 4 letters. And then again, slide it that way to cover the E, and slide it that way to uncover the U, and then you'd be able to read new, which again is not a word. But if that helps you to work your way through the question, then do try it. Here are 4 more examples that you can try yourself. So for each of these sentences, try and find the hidden word. Pause the video, have a go, and when you've done that, you can come back and we can hear the answers. Okay, let's see how you got on. Let's try the first one. Which planet comes after Mars in the solar system? Remember, we don't need to actually answer that question, but let's have a look to see if we can find the hidden word. You might have found that the hidden word here was term, T-E-R-M. And some people get put off when they see a capital letter in a word in the middle of the sentence. Okay, it doesn't matter if there are capital letters. For this type of question, it still counts as a legitimate letter that you can use in an answer. Okay, so term is the answer for question 1. For the next one, you'll need to go a long way to find a better cheesecake. Okay, you might have seen for this one, a bit trickier, that the 4-letter hidden word was here. So this is one that actually did span 3 different words. So within go long, there was goal, G-O-A-L, which is a word. So remember to not be put off if you need to span 3 different words. The memo, oddly, was written using invisible ink. Let's see if you got this one correct. So the answer here was mood, M-O-O-D, which is a word. Again, it might be off-putting if you see punctuation in the middle of the sentence, like this comma. Don't be put off by that, okay? Whether it's a comma or a colon or a semicolon, it doesn't matter. Ignore it. As long as the letters are within or between 2 consecutive words, it counts. Okay, let's try this one. This contraption measures air pollutants like black carbon and sulfur trioxide. Okay, some of those words are difficult and you don't need to know them, but you might have seen the 4-letter word hurt within that sentence, so that would be the correct answer here. Again, don't be put off if you see a sentence which has words that you don't understand. Sulfur trioxide, doesn't matter if you don't know what that is, we're just hunting down for the hidden word, and we can hunt down for a hidden word even without knowing the meaning of the underlying sentence. And that's it for this question. So if you see a hidden word question type, remember to look at the junction between each pair of words, and sometimes when you read the sentence, that hidden word might jump out at you, but if it doesn't, then just systematically work your way through the sentence, looking at each junction in turn, but trying the 3+1 letter combination or 2+2 or 1+3 combination, where those letters span at least 2 different words. And remember, you can use your finger to cover up parts of words to make it easier to see what's important, and then you can just slide your fingers along. Finally, don't be put off if you see capital letters or punctuation or words that you don't know in the sentence. It doesn't matter. Okay, the sentence could be lots of meaningless words in a foreign language that you don't know. It doesn't matter. We can still try and look for a genuine English 4-letter word that is hidden within that sentence. As usual, if you want to try some practice questions, there are some available on the website www.geekclubkids.co.uk.